So as I was prepping for this video, guys, I came to this interesting conclusion that while many creatives struggle with depression, some of the best pieces of art, whether it's literary or performing arts, were actually brought about by these symptoms. Creativity often stems from heightened emotional sensitivity. And so as a creative, you have this ability to capture the essence of human nature and portray it in a way that, resonates with the viewer. To create art is to understand art, to experience it firsthand. It is a projection of your own human experience. And it's like the only lifeless art is copied art. But when it's genuine and when it's unique to oneself, that's when it's beautiful. That is when it's extraordinary. Guys, I think one of the worst tragedies a creative person can go through in this life is through numbness. It's like if I'm angry, if I'm sad, if I'm frustrated, at least I can turn that into something. J.K. Rowling, she's the famous author for Harry Potter. She talks about how a lot of the characters that inspired her were actually just different aspects of her own shadow that she, portrayed in this incredible film. But it's like when you're numb, you're basically dead. If you guys have ever seen the Netflix show Hill House, that's one of my all-time favorite series. One of the main characters, Theo Crane, she has this extraordinary power. It is this ability to basically receive information through touch. It's called clairtangency. And so in one of the later episodes, she touches her dead sister, Nell. And basically what happens is all of this trauma from her death is passed to Theo. And this kind of overrides her body's natural defense mechanism. And this happens to the point where she no longer feels anything. So Theo's describing this to her older sister, that it's a literal hell, and that she loved it when she felt grief and sadness and guilt because it was better than this nothingness. And this was a very cathartic moment in this series, not characterized by the loss itself, but the emotion, the full embrace of this tragedy.
I had to do it because it felt better than nothing. That thorough fucking shame was so much better than that horrible empty nothing. I can't, surely.
Guys, life is tainted by malevolence. I remember coming out of my relationship that I shared a couple times on this channel back in 2019. Lost everything. This was like a dark season of life, and I would just read and write and read and write. What was beautiful about this loss for me was that it felt like for the first time in my life, I could feel again. It's like up until this point, I had all of these walls surrounding myself, and no one, not even myself, could be let in. It's like to go from years of just feeling nothing, of forcing these fake emotions to all of a sudden feeling everything. That was an insane moment for me, because it was like a rebirth. And off this topic as well, a lot of spiritualists will tell you that there's this hierarchy of emotions. I'm sure you guys have all seen the emotional frequency chart, where you've got like love at the top, and then there's like depression and all this stuff at the bottom. I'm here to say that this is a bullshit chart. Every human emotion carries value in its own context. Mark Manson said a quote once, and it's really stuck with me. He said, "When life gives you lemons, lean back and squeeze that shit into your eye and say, 'Is that all you got, motherfucker?'" Instead of trying to just avoid all of your suffering, you just take it on the chin. You just embrace it. You just don't care. It's like in the embracement of your trials lies your answers. That is where your breakthrough is found, not in the fake comfort of avoidance. And so tying this back together, guys, the reason I share this, it's like if you're a creative person, if you have this emotional sensitivity to the world around you, and you're unable to provide a space for these emotions and these thoughts and these endless ideas that you have, the end result of this is you eventually begin to compartmentalize all of this, so much so that it leads you to a point of silence. You start to rationalize why your ideas won't work, and you have this process of just talking yourself out of every single idea that comes to mind. And it also doesn't help that your perfection is working against you, that as soon as you actually do begin to start something, perfectionism is just peering around the corner, ready to instill doubts and whisper these lies into your ear. It's ready to self-sabotage you. It's like, guys, my personal demon is not Slender Man. It's not, La Llorona, right? It's that little freaking fox from Dora the Explorer, Swiper. And thankfully we're not slow as like Dora, right? We have the awareness to catch this little fox and just Many creatives continue to doubt their abilities even when they've had success. It's like this fear of being found out. It doesn't go away. It stays with you. You just get better at dealing with it. Unfortunately, the creative success usually stems from their curse. And it's because you have a sensitivity to the world around you. You feel things deeper. You have an unpredictable life. And you probably need lots of alone time just to function normally in society. And I know I've always said on this channel to not consider yourself special or unique. And while I still hold true to that statement, I think you also need to understand, though, that you must go at your own pace, and whatever that looks like, without the pressures of the world, the pressures of your friends, your parents, of yourself even, and just stop letting your inner critic dictate your life. The best art that we have today was forged through trial and error. So it's like, stop allowing your precious art that maybe you think is bad or that you think isn't good. Stop allowing that to be left in the drafts folder, and then just freaking publish it, dude. And I'm speaking to myself here as well. But yeah, the whole point of this video is just like, dude, I want to encourage you guys, like, stop being in your head so much. Like, just get out there. The hardest part is starting, it's really, yeah. I mean, it is a struggle for me still, creating whatever, but it does get easier over time. So anyways, I hope this video encourages you. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps me out, and we'll see you guys in the next one.